What's going on, my Trainer Club? Today we're going to check out the Lugia counter guide in Pokemon Go to make sure you guys are ready and prepped to get Shiny Lugia, 100% IV in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, are you guys excited about Lugia coming back to Pokemon Go? Man, oh man, what an iconic shiny this one is. I absolutely love it. It was actually the first raid boss that was ever released into Pokemon Go, so not only is that kind of cool for nostalgia, but also a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia with Lugia in general. So today what we're gonna do is check out the top counter guide. But before we go into it, if you guys do want any more raids, we have an epic month, and I'm sure it's gonna only keep getting better into the October, Halloween season, then we have November, and then Christmas. So the Discord is gonna be in the pinned comments below. As always, it's gonna be free. And if you want to take it one step further and raid even harder with a more intimate group of friends, because remember, we do have Azelf, Mesprit, and Uxie coming out as well, so we want to make sure that you guys are ready to go on all those. So, with all that said, let's get into Lugia. Lugia is going to start on September 1st at 10 a.m. local time. And that's going to go all the way till September 14th at 10 a.m. local time, so we have 2 weeks for this Pokemon. Lugia is going to be a Psychic and Flying type Pokemon. So that's going to give it a couple weaknesses and a couple of resistances and double resistances. It's going to be single weak to Dark, Electric, Ghost, Ice, as well as Rock. And then it's going to have 2 double resistances, which are going to be Ground as well as Fighting, and a single resistance to Grass as well as Psychic. And the 100% IVs on this Pokemon under normal condition, every condition except one condition, even though it does have 2 typings, they're both boosted under the same weather condition. It's going to be 2,115 at level 20, and then boosted under that condition, which is going to be windy weather. It's going to go all the way to level 25 at 2,645 for the level 25 100% IV, which then leads us into the moves that this Pokemon has. So it does have Dragon Tail and Extra Sensory. Not too problematic of moves right there, because none of the counters that we're going to be using are going to be weak to those for the most part. And then as far as the charge moves, it's going to get Sky Attack, it's going to get Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump is going to be the most problematic move that it's going to have here. It's going to hit a lot of Pokemon hard. It's going to hit those rock Pokemon hard as well. And then it also does get Future Sight as well as the legacy move of Aeroblast. So Aeroblast is going to be potentially one of the premier moves that we will check out tomorrow in the best of the best should you power up Lugia. And do you need 296 XL candy for this particular Pokemon? And then obviously it does have a shiny as well, which then going to lead us, how many trainers do we need to take down this Pokemon? Thank you to Pokebattler. It is going to be 3.11 trainers, so I'm sure that you can trio this. It's going to be a challenge. Remember, Lugia is more of a tanky Pokemon. It's a very big fan of the auto selector. So with all that said, now let's get into the top counter, starting off with the shadows included. The #1 counter is going to be Lick and Shadow Ball on Mega Gengar. Just be cautious with the Mega Gengar, being that it's paired with that poison typing, it is going to be weak to Psychic. So Extra Sensory is going to hit that Pokemon very, very hard. It's going to have 762 seconds to take down this Pokemon with a total of 38 deaths. Which then is going to lead us into counter spot #2, which is going to be Shadow Raikou with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge. Almost 100 seconds longer than that Mega Gengar, but you get a little bit less with the deaths. And then Electivire in spot #3 with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge. Followed by the Snarl and the Avalanche on the Weavile. And then in the next spot, we have Spark with Wild Charge on the Shadow Magnezone. And then we have Shadow Zapdos, Shadow Mamoswine, and Shadow Tyranitar. Basically, spots 2 through 8 are all Shadow Pokemon, so that just shows the weaknesses of this Pokemon are very favored toward the really powerful Shadows that we have in the game. But with all that said, let's transition out of these Shadows because not everybody has those powered up because they are more expensive for resources, and let's get right into the non-Shadow forms. The top 3 are going to be all Mega Pokemon. So Mega Gengar #1, we already covered that. Spot #2, which is going to be Houndoom. Houndoom, unfortunately, is going to be paired with a fire typing, so that is going to be weak to the Hydro Pump. So Hydro Pump is going to KO that Pokemon. But if you do choose to use it, it is going to be Snarl and Foul Play, which then is going to lead to spot #3, which is going to be Mega Manectric. So you do have to decide. Mega Manectric is going to be one of the ones that is not going to be weak to any of the movesets in there. So if that's what you are favoring, that's what you go with, but there are stronger ones in the Mega Gengar and the Houndoom. Unfortunately, they both are weak to movesets on this Lugia. Which then is going to lead us into the first non-Mega, non-Shadow counter, which is going to be Zekrom. Zekrom with Charge Beam as well as Wild Charge is going to make up counter spot basically number 2 behind the Megas. In spot number 5, we are going to get Mega Gyarados with the double Dark typing, and then the Thundurus Therian form is going to be Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. And then next we have Darkrai with Snarl and Shadow Ball. And yes, it also does get Dark Pulse, so what I would suggest doing for this particular Pokemon is, if you already have a second move unlocked, obviously you can get both of these. But depending on what Mega is going to be used, if it's going to be a Gengar, Shadow Ball is going to hit harder. If it's going to be a Houndoom, Dark Pulse is going to hit harder. So I would vary depending on that. And the Dark Pulse is going to give it the stab bonus that does favor the Darkrai. And then counter spot number 8, Smackdown and Rock Wrecker. Comday move Rock Wrecker for the Rhyperior. In counter spot number 9, we have the Giratina Origin form with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, followed by the Mega Ampharos. Way down on the list, I would probably skip over that Pokemon for the Megas. You already have 3 to 4 better options, depending on which one you're going to dive into. And then next we have Weavile with Snarl and Avalanche, followed by Galarian Darmanitan with Ice Fang and Avalanche on that Pokemon. I would just be cautious of this one. I do have one maxed out, and it is very glassy. It's literally like the ice version of Gengar. And then next we have Rampardos with Smackdown and Rock Slide, followed by regular Magnezone with Spark and Wild Charge. Now we're on to Raikou with Volt Switch and Wild Charge. Just be cautious, guys. We are breached 1,000 seconds to win on these Pokemon now. So we went from in the mid 700s on the way up in the thousands now, and these are legendary Pokemon. So this Pokemon is very strong, and it is going to be harder to take it down as we get towards these Pokemon without the Shadow forms. And then in counter spot number 17, we have Hex and Shadow Ball on the Chandelure, followed by Electivire with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge. So if you guys do want to go down the list, you can check it out here. We even have Terrakion and Yveltal all the way down on the list right now on this Pokemon. So unfortunately, this Pokemon doesn't have any double weaknesses that we can exploit, and since it is tankier, it's going to be a little bit more problematic. So with that said, now let's check out the weather conditions of this Pokemon. What is going to be effective using when you are battling with it, and what's going to be effective catching with it as well. Sunny weather is going to have no effect. Partly cloudy weather is going to have effect. It's going to boost all of our rock type Pokemon. Since Lugia is going to be weak to rock, it's going to be a great weather condition to fight with, which then is going to lead us into cloudy weather. Cloudy weather will have no effect, but rainy weather will. Rainy weather is going to boost the Hydro Pump of the Lugia, so during the rainy weather, that is an absolute no-go for the rock type Pokemon to use against it. It's really going to hit hard. Honestly, Hydro Pump in rainy weather is going to hit hard regardless, but also it's going to boost all of our electric type attackers. So using those Pokemon are going to be really effective during that time frame. Next, we're going to have foggy weather. Foggy weather is going to boost all of our ghost and our dark type Pokemon, being that Lugia is a psychic type Pokemon that is going to be favorable for our counters, which then is going to lead us into snowy weather. Snowy weather also is going to boost the ice type Pokemon, being that Lugia is also going to be weak to that, so that is a plus. And then finally, we have windy weather. Windy weather is going to boost Lugia all the way to level 25. It's going to boost all of its flying and psychic type moves, which is not really going to be that big of a deal unless you are fighting with the Gengar or the Mega Gengar. So as far as the parties go, what would be my optimal party setup? So if you're looking to really have a solid Mega that's not going to be weak to anything, what you could go for is the Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados is going to be a water and a dark type Pokemon, not going to be weak to any of the moves, and it's going to boost all the dark type Pokemon, and it's going to be resisting water as well as psychic. So guys, it's a pretty good counter. It might not be quite as strong, but I do think it's going to be great for the party. So that would be my #1 recommendation for the Megas. Then going in next, if you really want to be the most safe, using electric type Pokemon is going to be great for this scenario. Darkrai is going to be great. Zekrom will be great as well, being that it is electric and a dragon type. It's going to resist water as well as flying, so that's a bonus. It is going to be weak to the Dragon Tail, but fortunately, Dragon Tail is a relatively harder hitting move, but it's just a quick move and not a charge move. So what my parties would look like if I were to recommend this to you guys. Counter spot #1 is either gonna be Mega Manectric or Mega Gyarados. Then in counter spot #2, I'm pretty much rocking my Zekroms. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really care too much about that Dragon Tail, and it's gonna be worth it, and Zekrom's gonna be resistant. And then in counter spot #3, I am going with the Therian Thundurus form. Great counter in there. And then Darkrai as well. I would say Rhyperior, but Rhyperior is going to be very weak to the Hydro Pump, so just be cautious on that Pokemon. So with all that said, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Good luck out there with Lugia. Likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes their support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.